let's talk about color palettes. A color palette is a collection of colors that work together to bring about a theme. For example, on this page, you see the Breast Cancer Awareness 2017 palette, where the pink really is going to stand out. And you see a similar palette right here on the left, except there's a beige switched out for the pink. So just one slight variation. But as you can see, if you were to use these colors in your web design, then the pink is really going to stand out. What's nice about color palettes and the internet is you don't have to be a color master that you might have to learn how to be in art school. You could just see the hard work that other people have done and then build your palette from there. I like even this palette, especially around Halloween time, called Boastful Ghost. So if you wanted to have a Halloween feel, but more with a kiddie, Halloween for kids feel to it, then this color palette will probably work the best. As you can see, I could scroll down and there are 46,000 different color palettes on this website, colorhex.com. And you could even do a search. So if I wanted to find something for Halloween, I can look for any color palettes that are specially designed with the keyword Halloween. And you could see the amazing variety of palettes that are here. I want to call attention even to this Halloween Fiesta, where you can see the green and the purple really bring out the international flair to Halloween. Or if you wanted something a little bit more sinister or spooky, maybe you can pick these Halloween spook colors so it'll really make your pumpkins stand out. Now, when you pick out a color palette for a website, you always want to have at least one highlight color that's good for buttons and menu items. So as I look through these different palettes, I want to find one where there is a bright color that stands out. For example, if I come down here to the bottom, this palette might work really well because the black could be a good background and you can have white text, but anything that I want to stand out, I can highlight with the green or the purple, and then have orange elements throughout. It's important to have those highlights, where I would say a palette like this one, Pumpkins for Halloween, doesn't work that well for a website because there's not enough contrast. You don't have a color that really stands out. So if you start inserting buttons and links, they'll be hard to find. They might get buried in your design. So look for colors that have complementary colors, but then you want some contrasting ones. This fall and Halloween color can look really well. You can use the backgrounds as these darker colors and use the yellow and the orange to highlight items for your website. So that's what you want to be looking at when you're thinking about color palettes. Now, let's just say you wanted to use one of these for your website. I will get to that near the end of the video. First, let me show you how to fix it using Wix.com. If you recall, we're on this pizza website that we're building, and if I wanted to change the color palette, which you have to think is an amazingly powerful tool, because without this tool, if you wanted to change this color palette, well, back in the old day, you would have to change everything manually. So if I wanted this background to be black, I would make that black, but then I would have to highlight each of these elements and turn them white. And I would have to do that through the whole website. So you could see where being a webmaster would be a full-time job if you just wanted to change the color of your site. But the web color palette tool is going to allow us to change all the colors throughout the entire website. So to change the color palette, I'm going to go anywhere to a blank space on this website. To change the colors on the website, go to a blank spot and you're going to right click and it'll say change page background. When I go to change the page background, of course I could simply change it to a photo or a solid color. In this case, it's white. But what I want to do is actually change the palette on the entire website. So to do that, go ahead and select color, and you have this color picker. Now you could see as I hover over the colors, the background will dynamically change without me having to commit to it. Now the colors on this website, as you can see, are this white, gray, turquoise, sort of this red, orange, and an orange. Now your screen, the colors could be slightly different, but I don't know if this palette really is going to work for my pizza shop. Maybe I want something a little more Italian, or something that shows the colors of the pizza. Maybe some red, some green, some beige. I don't have any green in my palette. And I thought, that would work well with a lot of the images I have of the pizza. So to change the entire palette, I'm going to click on this change button. And look at this tray slides out, and there are pre-made color palettes that I can go through. Now, a while ago, I remember there used to be funky names for each of these, like Magic Mushroom and, Toadstool and other names, but it looks like they got rid of the names, and we just simply have the colors. And as you can see, the colors will dynamically change, but I don't have to commit to anything. So if I go through here, let's see if I find any colors that might work for a pizza shop. So I'm definitely looking for a green. Now here's a green, and this has red in it, and it even has a little bit of the yellow and the beiges. So I'm going to commit to this by clicking on that and then say done. If I want to see more of a change, I could just hover over the colors, as you can see, maybe add this green, and that's going to help the menu stand out a little bit more. And gives my website a nice fresh feeling, fresh food being the green. And that's what I want my customers to think about with our pizza shop. I want them to think about fresh ingredients. So I might use this green right here. Let's just say we wanted to use a different color palette that's not on Wix.com, such as these color palettes on ColorHex.com. So what you need to do is pick out the palette that you like. I will pick out Halloween Queen. Click on it. Now here's the numbers you want to pay attention to. They're the hex numbers, and each color has a unique number. When I go to Wix, let's go back to our color palette. Click color, click site colors change, and instead of choosing one of the palettes in this side menu, we're going to click on each of the color wells, and we will specify what exact colors we want. So I'll start with the first one that's originally looks like a white or a gray, and we're going to change it to pure black. So I'm going to copy this number, and then I'm going to paste it right in, hit add, and you'll see that this side of the site colors changed. Now you may not notice a change, so I'm going to hit the green palette just so you can see the change a little bit better. Let's change that to this purple. I'm going to copy the number. I'm going to paste that same number right in, and as you can see, purple is now added to our site colors. I also want you to notice the spectrum from dark to light that's automatically created when we change the site colors. So even though we chose a palette with 5 specific colors, there are different shade variations that are created, and that makes our job easier as designers. So we're always drawing from the same palette. We might just change the shade to match what it is we're trying to accomplish. What's nice about that is if I go somewhere else on the website, for example, let's go to this home page. let's just say I wanted to change the background of this strip to something different. Change strip background. I'm going to hit color. And as you see, the color picker has the palette that we predetermined. So you don't have to remember those numbers. They're automatically recorded and saved into your website. Again, we can change this at any time, but once you've changed it, the colors are locked in, and so we can draw from that well of 5 colors. And limiting it to those 5 colors is going to make you a better designer, because those colors will work together, and then we're not picking all kinds of different shades that maybe you thought was blue, but it's actually purple. We avoid those kind of problems. So select the colors you want and make the adjustments as needed. So that's how you change the color palette, either using Wix.com's palette tools or finding colors outside of Wix.com, finding the hex number and pasting that into the color picker menu. All right, so pick out some great colors and we'll see you in the next lesson.